The bell is about to ring in the science lab at Lakeside, one of the world's most exclusive private schools. Mackenzie Bezos swipes beakers and other glassware off of the counter, jumps up and beckons her kid's teacher to come and roger her. "Do it soon and do it quick, stallion," she muttered whimperingly. And no, this episode is not about Mackenzie. We'll get to her. It's about billionaire romance fiction. Yes, that is a genre. And we'll be discussing $1 Billion Enemy. It's a billionaire romance novel by Olivia Hale. Self-published romance novels have been a thing for a while. I think Amazon and their ebook Kindle Unlimited program helped start that revolution. Olivia Hale has cranked out quite a few formulaic books in the billionaire romance genre. 12 Days of Bossmas, Arrogant Boss, Think Outside the Boss. And of course, if you buy ebooks, you get access to bonus stories, like short sequels to the original. Yeah, Mackenzie. Give me the juggling balls. Rub that chicken. That ball. Do it good at the bit.
Bad Billionaires, a podcast about people who should not exist.
Olivia Hale is, according to her website, a contemporary romance author who loves sarcastic humor, huge cups of tea, and happily ever afters. She likes to joke that she loves billionaire heroes because she's never met one in real life, and likely never will. She has to create them on the page instead! ! All of her books are available on Amazon and Kindle Unlimited. And before you think that this is formulaic shite, the covers, typical of romance, self-published romance, slick stock photos of hunky business guys. Before you mock Olivia Hale, let it be known that she's made $1 million and then some peddling this poorly written formulaic trash. And Chat GPT is in the news right now, this artificial intelligence program where you can say, "Computer, write a 50,000 word romance novel about billionaires who'd seduce young bookstore owners at a fancy hotel bar, and make it clever, and it will spit it out in a millisecond, and that's your book." Well, that's if only Olivia Hale could have done it that well. $1 Billion Enemy's innovative plot structure involves jumping back and forth between the two primary characters, the handsome billionaire and the person that works at a struggling bookstore. She picks him up basically at a fancy bar above a hotel. His features are precise, a 5 o'clock shadow darkening his skin. Thick brown hair falls in waves across his forehead, the kind any woman would want to run her hands through, broad shoulders, and an expensive suit. He looks ruggedly wealthy, as opposed to polished rich, which strikes me as an important distinction. This man, older than me and probably wildly successful, doesn't need to know that I'm a lowly bookstore clerk with nothing but a half-finished manuscript to my name. You are listening to the Bad Billionaires podcast, episode number 2, The Sordid World of Billionaire Romance Fiction. 282 pages of this $1 billion enemy. A bookstore clerk has an affair with a billionaire that wants to develop the building where the bookstore is located. And so this book is devoid of substance. There's really only 3 characters in the book. Sky, the young lady. Cole Porter, yes, that is his name, is the billionaire. And then Kylie, Sky's friend who owns the bookstore. Okay, so Sky and Carly, this is 4 weeks after the billionaire seduces her. They're driving to a meeting with the developer who wants to kick the bookstore out. And of course, the developer, much to their surprise, is Cole Porter, billionaire stud. We drive in silence through Seattle, 2-story buildings disappearing behind us in favor of brutal skyscrapers and harsh angles. Men in suits on the streets, women in heels, quaint coffee shops replaced by the big chains. Porter Development is located inside a massive building, tall, imposing, all glass. Someone pushes past us with an irritated sigh as we stand mid-sidewalk and stare. Well, Carly says faintly, it's not so much a whale as a giant monument to corporate greed? Yes, that. A man appears in the doorway and the world drops out from beneath my feet. Tall, brown hair, familiar eyes now fixed on me, relentless and unyielding. Cole Porter, owner and CEO of Porter Development. And throughout this conflict, Cole and Sky continue having an affair. They even meet in the bookstore. We both fall silent in concentration as I glue the base of the book-shaped heart into place. He helps hold it down, big hands spread across the covers of 2 discarded books. He has long fingers, tan across the back, with a smattering of hair faint across his knuckles. Those hands had been on my skin, caressing, smacking, gripping, and his fingers had been inside me.
Billionaire.
Chat GPT, please write 50,000-word billionaire romance novel with a smattering of unoriginal porn. $1 Billion Enemy came out in 2020. Almost 4,000 ratings on Amazon. It's $14.99 for the paperback. And I've got to say, the paperback, it is professionally done. Other than not having a publisher's imprint, and having the generic cover art, it's well designed. Olivia Hale definitely hired an editor. There's not a typo, and I'm a stickler for that. Typo or very awkward grammatical weirdness to be found. So we got to give her that. Just to be clear, $1 Billion Enemy is a series of books, the Seattle Billionaires series. You really could have had some fun with this, but you had to keep it boring. The second book, $1 Billion Beast. And the third book, $1 Billion Catch. One imagines someone's going to marry a billionaire. Isn't that the most tired trope of all? Easy money. I mean, how many movies are based on I won the lottery, what's going to happen next? Okay. I think most books, as far as I know, published by major publishers, most of them don't sell anything at all, or maybe a few hundred copies. The huge sellers are rare. But Olivia Hale has done quite well. No one in the legitimate, corporate mainstream media is going to review her books, but another great read. I read the book in one sitting. It's a steamy, sexy, and snarky in perfect combination, says Cassandra, reviewer. Billion Dollar Enemy is a very sweet, sexy, and entertaining enemies to lovers, or more accurately, lovers to enemies back to lovers romance. That's from Patricia's book Kingdom. Billion Dollar Enemy right now, it's $2,400 on the Kindle store. Number 151 in contemporary romance fiction. And again, it's a winner-take-all society, especially in the entertainment business. A handful of these people do really well with this romance fiction. Most people are wasting everybody's time, including their own. And then, every industry, especially in the arts, has a sub-industry that's based on, getting people that want to join the industry to pay them for consultation or whatever. So, you're going to self-publish your romance book. You need to pay an editor. That paid off here, but think of all the people that are shelling out money for that. At least self-publishing on Amazon is basically, print to order is basically free. So there's that. What other industries? Like in the independent film industry, whatever that is, it's a whole culture of festivals and consultants and stuff. And yeah, you got to pay us before you can jump into this industry, even though, we're not going to tell you that like winning a film festival is basically like winning the Super Bowl. It's a hard thing to do. Billion Dollar Enemy, I'm proud to say, is number 185 in the Billionaire romance category on Amazon. If you look at that, it's generic, inoffensive garbage, but think of what fun you could have in the Billionaire romance category. It's not going to be sexy. No, Elon Musk is not a sex god. I mean, now that Jeff Bezos is pumped up on testosterone, and I'm not going to get sued for defamation for saying that, because it's true. Like, he's kind of a stud, but you could do the goofiest, grossest, funniest books in this genre. What a brilliant conceit in Billion Dollar Enemy to jump back and forth between the lovers. Chapter on coal. I ignore the burning in my muscles as I finish another lap in the pool. My shoulders, my arms, my back are all on fire. I'll have to stretch out the muscles later, but for now, the ache is pleasant. I should get her out of my mind. She'd realized what I wanted and said no. She'd even outlined why it would be a bad idea, and she'd been right, too. It would be unprofessional, complicated, messy. And yet the time I spent with her was some of the most fun time I've had in months. Wow, you could get rich writing such brilliant material. Actually, let's hear it from the author about how rich she might be from writing such brilliant material.
Yep. That first book, I feel like this is important to say, actually, because I was so dejected that first month when it made $48, right? But over 3.5 years, that book has made just over 6 figures.
Wow. Some of these romance authors that are successful build an audience that wants to come back and read everything, and that's the formula. And they're churning out. Normally, to write a good book, that's could take a lifetime or a really long period for most people, but these people churn it out. And again, I'm not going to beat this point like a dead horse, but I think the Chat GPT, this AI stuff where you can just command a computer to write shit for you and it comes out okay, that kills this whole industry.
Billionaire.
Yeah, it's been a lot of books, I would say. I think I got up to 6 books last year, which was a lot for me. I know some authors can do a book a month. That's not me.
A book a month. That's a warped version of the Book of the Month Club, where people would gather to read and discuss good books that none of which took only a month to write. Other than maybe Jack Kerouac's On the Road, which looking back is important. No, it's kind of bullshit. And, okay, take a bunch of meth and sit and write a book in a month. Fine, it's okay. Sky, a deep character full of complex emotions. Despite everything, the fact that we don't know each other very well, the competition over the bookstore. Again, the plot of this book is that Cole Porter, billionaire Seattle real estate developer, wants to kick a bookstore out of a building. It's bullshit. The vast class difference between us is the same as it was in the hotel room. It's uncomplicated. Our bodies knowing one another intimately. I press myself against him and he growls low in his throat. The sound reverberates. Okay. So crime pays. Does softcore pornography pay? Let's hear it from Olivia Hale.
So from a standing start, before we get into detail, can you give me an idea of the kind of the level of success you're having in whatever metric you're comfortable with letting us know?
For sure. So my last year, my third year doing this, was a 7-figure year, which was astonishing. It was much higher than I mean, obviously I was aiming high, but that was exceeded my expectations for sure. And the year before that was a 6-figure year.
Money. One thing that's dumb about this book, one of many things, is the lack of specific information. Yes, it's fiction. It's a made-up fantasy world, but hey, it's Seattle. There's a place, maybe Olivia Hale got some inspiration. There's a place called the Bookstore Bar, and it's beneath a fancy hotel on First Avenue. It's been there a long time. It's a bar that has a bunch of books on shelves that no one reads. Maybe, just maybe. And it's above the Hilton Hotel 1000, $400 a night. Maybe, just maybe, Olivia took inspiration from that real life fact.
And now a word from our sponsor.
January 16th, 2023. A fake death in Romancelandia. New York Times. A Tennessee homemaker entered the online world of romance writers, and it became, in her words, an addiction. Things went downhill from there. A sad story by journalist Ellen Berry. This lady in Tennessee, her husband is a truck driver and is gone a lot, and she loves romance novels, which is fine, and then she gets into writing romance novels. They're not as polished as Olivia Hale's work. And yeah, I think she's falling victim to the, creative enabler industry. Like maybe she paid for an editor. Maybe she, at the very least, this was a time suck for her. She wrote a whole bunch of books that all suck, and they're all like number 500,000 on the Amazon charts. And she faked her own death and suffers from mental illness. And that was a word from our sponsor. And now back to billionaire romance fiction, $1 billion enemy. But is he really an enemy? What will eventually happen? Well, yeah, they're going to get married. But not in this book. You will have to endure and or enjoy more books in this series to find out the shocking yet inevitable conclusion.
And I thought, this is interesting. I've always wanted to be a writer, And so I fell through the self-publishing rabbit hole, right? Like Alice, essentially.
The best writers are really smart, maybe even brilliant. And Olivia Hale is not that.
My name is Olivia. I started 3.5 years ago now. And like you said, a standing start. I knew absolutely nothing about self-publishing, but I threw myself into the industry. I thought it was just so much fun to learn. And there were so many resources out there, right? And since then, I've started writing contemporary romance. And I have 15 books out now, writing my 16th at the moment.
Wow.
And it's just been a wild journey, to be honest.
A wild journey of 16 romance novels. But is this crap just formulaic nonsense? She doesn't seem like a brilliant creative mind. For the millionth time, this could be so fun. Even this story, this hackneyed story of the bookstore employee and the real estate heir, that could be hilarious. But no, Olivia, just churning it out.
And so genre fiction was very liberating creatively for me. The fact that you had structures, a bit of a formula to follow, genre conventions, right? All of that. And so I wrote my first book in 6 weeks.
That formula, of course, is porn. I pull the waistband down and grip him hard. He hisses in painful pleasure. We'll have sex. Yes, he growls. Please. I stroke once, twice. He's throbbing in my hand, steel and velvet combined. And afterwards, we go back to hating each other. The black of his eyes flashes. Yes. The big reveal in the book, and that comes on page 199, is that Kylie realizes that Sky is dating Cole Porter. Such a betrayal of some kind. Okay, this is either true to life or ridiculous. Cole Porter's vision for his new development includes the bookstore. So now they're working together. The theme of the bookstore will set the theme for the entire hotel. There's nothing minimalist about it. No hard lines or brutalist glass. Dark wood, chandeliers, a speakeasy-themed bar in the back. It takes me a minute to see the brilliance. Porter hotels are known for their sleekness, their elegance. But this design, it's unique. If it's received well, it could launch a new line of hotels for us. A line of hotels in which a bookstore of some kind would be the anchor at the bottom of the luxury hotel. And I encourage you to visit the bookstore bar beneath Hotel 1000. That's on First Avenue in Seattle, somewhere down the street from the Seattle Art Museum. And if you are a young woman working as a clerk for minimum wage, perhaps going there will result in you meeting a billionaire, with the inevitable result of you marrying said billionaire.
What I do like about Billionaire is it's a pretty flexible genre. So the man needs to be rich, to speak frankly, but that's really it. He usually also needs to be in a suit or to have that kind of suaveness to him, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, you can really mold it however you'd like. And I found that to be, again, creatively liberating,
The fantasy of having sex with a billionaire and then getting some of his fucking stack of money. What about the fantasy of becoming a successful writer? So Olivia does that in real life and also fantasizes about it in her books. Brooks and King wants to publish her novella. And she wrote an article about the renovation of Between the Pages. That's the name of the bookstore. If I can make it interesting enough, maybe I can build some hype for the reopening. So, yeah, this article is going to build some hype for the reopening of this bookstore as a fancy bookstore beneath a fancy hotel. No one has any scruples, Kylie or Olivia Hale. I've got to hand it to Olivia, though. It looks like she makes a lot of money from this crap. So that's real life. That's not fantasy. She's making big money. That's what counts, motherfucker. Epilogue, page 258. It's Cole, a year and a half later. Sky smiles and pushes back her hair, accepting the huge bouquet given to her. She's wearing the floral dress I bought her. Sky had argued against the purchase, of course, as she so often does. You can't spend this kind of money on me, Cole. It's taken me a lot of effort to meet those arguments with logic and understanding. Now, 2 years into our relationship, she's much better at accepting it. I have more money than I would need if I lived 100 lifetimes. A nice restaurant for dinner makes the both of us happy. A beautiful gift is something I enjoy getting for her. Kylie, you are a prostitute. There's no other word for it. And I guess that is the fantasy here. It's the pretty woman thing, right? Like, well, prostitute who's savvy enough can marry a billionaire. That's not an unheard of story in real life. Oh no, our book is ending. Want more Cole and Sky? I couldn't quite let them go, so I wrote a 7,500 word bonus story that takes place the week leading up to their wedding. Join my newsletter to receive the story for free. Warning. Contains lots of banter, fluff, and steam. There is a bathtub involved. Amazon bestsellers in the billionaire romance genre, soon to be entirely replaced with AI-generated fake stories. And again, the chat GPT and stuff is not perfect, but what you do is have it generate a story and then have a human being go in and fix it and fuck with it. That could be, I'm almost tempted to do that myself if I had the time. Number 10, Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Geisinger. Number 8, The Wrong Bride by Katerina Mora. Number 5, A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. Again, the billionaire romance bestsellers. Megan Quinn, number 4, So Not Meant to Be. Number 3, One Bossy Date, An Enemies to Lovers Story by Nicole Snow. Number 2, this is so absurd. Rule number 1, never marry your brother's best friend by Lauren Landish, famous billionaire romance writer. And number 1 Amazon bestseller in the billionaire romance category, A Long Time Coming by Megan Quinn. Let's not look into that further or determine what it is. I can guess what it is. About Olivia Hale. Olivia loves billionaire heroes. Despite never having met one in person, taking matters into her own hands, she creates them on the page instead. Stern, charming, cold, or brooding. So far, she's never met a fictional billionaire she didn't like. There's no, I mean, this is nothing, it's garbage, but there's no class consciousness. There's no tension, you know, even this story, the working class bookstore clerk and the billionaire, there's no, I mean, she's just, yeah, well, I'm going to marry this guy and then fuck everyone else that I used to be associated with. Olivia's favorite things include wide-shouldered heroes, late-night conversations, too expensive wine and romances that lift you up. Smart and sexy romance. Those are her lead themes. Join her newsletter, oliviahale.com. She's on Facebook and all that other bullshit. I want to thank the Self-Publishing Formula YouTube channel. Their video, Building a Brand Consistent Backlist, the Self-Publishing Show from September 2022 is where we pulled the audio of Olivia Hale and determined that she is a real person and not a computer. Olivia Hale took a mere 3 years to go from hearing about self-publishing to becoming a 6-figure author. Let's discuss how that success came to be. Show notes, mistakes made, and lessons learned. On the liberation of writing genre fiction. Okay. Fine, thank you. Just having some fun this time. Not picking on any specific real-life billionaire. Just sort of dredging the bottom of the barrel to mock like some garbage. The Sordid World, a billionaire romance fiction. Music by Skillet and Gern Blanston. Creative consultant John Haydak. He actually sent us this book. That was the inspiration for this episode. Media clips we use are legal according to the 1976 Copyright Act. This has been your host, Alex. See you soon. Goodbye.
You had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein.
I had dinners with him. He had relationships with people he said, would give to global health, and not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off.
It was reported that you continued to meet with him over several years.
He's dead.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead. So, in general, you always have to be careful.